Welcome back once again, everybody, to USMC Esports Victory Command. This is the Rocket League 2v2 event, a one-day tournament, which is very convenient, might I add, to compete in and win. Obviously, all these players are aiming for their shot at the custom championship ring provided by Generation Esports at the end of this tournament bracket. My name is Galgan. Alongside me is Pyro. If you are just joining us, you've missed the first two matches of the evening, but there is plenty more Rocket League action to be had, and we have our next matchup here at Pyro. Water Drinkers 2.0 versus the USMC Varsity ETHS 2 roster. This should be a good one. Obviously, we're getting deeper into the bracket here, so the competition only gets more stiff as we progress.
Yeah, and I'm glad the USMC Varsity ETHS team has shown up for the USMC Victory Command stream, all right? I think it's only right. We'll see if they're biased in this match or not, but we have certainly gone the distance in this tournament. 2v2 has been a great, fun new format for us to explore here today. I've seen a myriad of kind of fancy mechanics, big demolition and bump plays as well. The extra distance, the range, and the increased amount of boost available on the map for these players has given us quite the spectacle to watch. But Galgan, the truth is only one team can have at that ring, that custom championship ring provided by Generation Esports for the winner. That's what these players are setting their sights on.
And if you're sitting at home thinking, man, I really want to get my hands on that ring as well, you certainly can. You can head over to marines.com/Rocket League Challenger to find out more information about Rocket League events that USMC Esports Victory Command puts on. And there are other free-to-play titles in which tournaments are run. Thinking Brawlhalla, Halo, Valorant, you name it, there's probably a tournament for it. So make sure you check all of those links out and keep up to date with the Marines and USMC Esports Victory Command on all applicable social media platforms. For now, like you said, we are focused up on this 2v2 Rocket League action, ready and waiting for these players to drop onto the pitch for this match. Water Drinkers 2.0. As much as things to talk about, as with the previous matches, we are going in fairly blind to these players specifically. There's a glimpse that we may know one of the Water Drinkers players, but this might end up being a little bit of a stretch. At the end of the day, we're expecting to see more twos shenanigans as we've seen all evening long, and we are underway, wasting no more time.
Oh boy, okay, this could be the JDM that we were waiting to see. Could be, could not, but that is certainly a good way to start off the match, Galgan, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd have to concur. I think of ways to begin a match, that's certainly one of the better ones. And yes, to, pull the curtain open for anybody who has no idea what we're goofing and giggling about here in the booth. JDM being a player who is well known currently around the B+ area in terms of six-man's rank, participated in the day one qualifiers, did not make it to day two for RLCS, but I mean, by virtue of making it as far as JDM did, all you really need to know, this is a solid player. Odds as well is a name that I somewhat recognize too. Can't quite place where these players are exactly right now, but in terms of skill, just know that they are very high up there. And ETHS, I mean, Joey making a claim to be high up there himself.
Absolutely, maybe taking the defenders off guard a little bit. The quick turnaround, aim for a good cross-court shot there. Maybe that is the solution to a match like this for ETHS, is to, take your opponents off guard with some quick pop shots. JDM, though, trying to respond with a bit of control. Odds with a very quick turnaround. I swear, Galgan, you can't blink or you're gonna miss Water Drinkers 2.0 taking the shot and scoring.
Absolutely. That's got such pace from the corner as well. Can be a tough shot to read, even if you're on the goal line to begin with, let alone having to make yourself into the correct position just to get a save. So they've got their second goal, and we are not even a minute into the action. We expect a high goal tally from either side, but I think that brings all the more importance to the defensive stature of both sides. See what kind of saves they can cook up here and give us a real show, a run for the money, or is it just going to be this offensive masterclass as odds wants a little 360 musty, doesn't quite see it all the way through. JDM will get a demo rather than the goal.
I gotta say, odds looking fabulous with those attempts in the air, but also with that Sonics decal. I only purchased like 3 or 4, and that was one of them that I took. Was that really beaut of a Sonics decal? Okay, Rhino. That is definitely one play to be had near your goal line. Very dangerous, I have got to admit. Kind of almost trying to maybe bait in the Water Drinkers 2.0. I mean, Galgan, I will say that is the one chance that ETHS had at scoring that they were able to convert, was baiting in the challenges and then hitting it above them. So maybe those sly maneuvers from ETHS could work out for them.
And you can see it on both sides, right? The Water Drinkers doing it here. Both teams keen to play this ball a little low and slow if they can help it, and just wait for someone to make the first move. And I do want to point out, since you brought it up, thank you for giving some credit here to the Sonics decal, because I'm a Sonics decal supporter as well, and I feel like too many people just did not really like it, but it's one of the more solid ones, I must say.
It really is beautiful. I feel like I'm so much better of a player when I'm wearing it, and then I start playing and remind myself that I'm awful. Joey, much better at the game than I, and scoring a beauty here. Just sticking around the play here. It's important to notice that Joey and the behavior on the pitch could have very well just went back to defense, but did not give up on the play, wants to stay in this game.
I'm happy to sit around this talking point. You know, just go back to that's why we're in the booth and not on the pitch, because these players are so much better. But that's what you expect at the later stages of the bracket, right? These players have obviously been on a bit of a tear just to get to this stage alone. And Rhino, I want to see this. The only player not on the score sheet just yet. And again, one of the ones a bit more keen than anybody else to go low and slow, like I said earlier, but just not really coming through. Water Drinkers, they have that defensive stance red for the time being.
Indeed, JDM, great control here in the air. Tried to posture for that 50-50 to lay the ball in, but hey, no worries. You got odds ready to pick this up after the clear and slam it down. I mean, the one thing that's been made clear here is for ETHS, you get a good save on a tough shot. Listen, that's not enough. That next follow from the second player on the roster is coming, and it's coming quick. So they've got to be working quickly up off their feet, or just, trying to put on shots like this. The reset never comes, though. So Water Drinkers 2.0 hold on to this lead.
And it's the threat of what could have been the boost steal as well for ETHS. Good turn here from Joey, trying to pick off and cuts to the inside after slowing it down initially. When I talk about these challenges and the fake outs in the bottom of the box, this is what I mean. Joey tries to motion over towards that far side, cuts it back in, and caught JDM on the stutter step. Beautiful goal to tie things up.
Credit due to ETHS, where there's been a goal for the Water Drinkers 2.0. There's been a response in similar fashion from them, keeping with them toe-to-toe in this best-of-5 battle. Haven't gone the distance in a best-of-5 yet in the matches that we've been able to witness on the broadcast, so maybe with this even-Steven matchup, we may see it here, but JDM wants to keep the trend going with another goal as we reach the minute mark. There is Ott striking the ball to the corner, bounces right back up in the air. That's going to be a miss for the defense of ETHS. Joey is in position to kick it away. They'll be able to pick up some boost as well for their efforts.
Rhino steps forward to the corner. Joey opportunity to shoot, and Joey scores. It rings off the defender, but it was fast enough. And Rhino does a whole lot of work out of the corner just to get this one centered up, including a bump onto odds to make him awkward as well. JDM not in position in time, and ETHS scream out in front here late in the game.
So will Water Drinkers 2.0 have their response as well? It seems like the question. JDM trying to get physical there, but can he get back on defense in enough time? Needs to posture in front of this shot and will do exactly that. Odds versus Rhino. Who wins? Rhino kicks it away. JDM ready to take the shot though, and looking for the bump on Joey. Joey does not take the bait, stays grounded, and cannot complete the counterattack. But a great stop from them, limiting Water Drinkers 2.0 to just another chance. JDM keeps things even.
This is 2's counterplay at its peak right here. Both teams just lobbing everything on target and trying to see what sticks back and forth. And you've got to have fantastic defensive recovery, nothing short of it, in order to get those saves away. Are we headed, however, to golden goal territory? It would be the third time this evening, first game of the series, of course. So for both of these pairs, JDM putting that on hold. However, the crossbar, big denial from Rhino, a potential game-saving save there as we head to OT.
All right, hey, the stakes are high in this semifinals matchup. You can set the tone for this match to get yourselves to that finals position. Both teams want it so badly. JDM may just want it more. JDM keeps behind the ball and lays up a final touch over the defender to win game one.
Putting up the three-piece as well, and it goes right into that top corner zone. 9 goals combined from both teams, and everybody getting a little piece except for Rhino. Still waiting for that offensive showcase from Rhino themselves. But for ETHS, the outlook isn't necessarily that drastic. Like you mentioned it, they were keeping pace, they were finding responses. They were the first to score their 4th goal, and where Rhino didn't deliver offensively, they delivered defensively, had 3 saves there and a couple of plays to stall out the Water Drinkers. But on the same side, as we get right into game number 2, and potentially we get the Rhino goal to kick things off, take away all I was going to say about what could happen in game 2. We got the Rhino goal.
I mean, why talk about it when we can just see it right here, Galgan, right? Let the players talk, and Rhino does exactly that. Still the point to be made, though, that not everything has to be done offensively in this 2v2 game. If you can stay toe-to-toe with your opposition, oh, you're gonna need a little chemistry in order to do that. Double commit defensively for ETHS leaves a wide open opportunity for the Water Drinkers 2.0.
Yeah, you give JDM that kind of look, it doesn't matter where Rhino is in the net. That ball is finding some open space, so a solid counter there. We get back to the similar theme of an early hot start for the offenses. 2 goals within 16. Is it 3 goals within 20? No, not quite. As it rings off that far post for Joey, looking for it. Rhino with a nice pick, however, will bide time and actually open the window to keep this play alive as Rhino stays relevant, taking a fair bit of the boost, however, so that'll really close Joey off to the middle of the field. Does well under pressure. Get that save away, but we are wasting no time with these games. Odds sends that one ringing off the near woodwork. JDM wants another look, doesn't get the bump. Rhino with an initial save, but Odds eventually makes them pay.
I was going to say, at some point it had to happen, right, Calkin? I mean, at some point the ball has to go in. ETHS, they can only survive on a thread for so long. Water Drinkers 2.0 answer back off that first goal from ETHS very quickly. Can they do it again off the kickoff? Not quite. Rhino finds it away and sends a quick counter the other direction. I do want to see a little more talking between the players of ETHS rather than just continuing to toss this ball back into the hands of the Water Drinkers 2.0. It's not like they couldn't score last game, but maybe with some extra connections, they can continue to keep Water Drinkers on their feet.
I'm right there with you. The passing lanes need to be there. Obviously, they've got time to try and figure these things out. And again, you want to, in your heart of hearts, back the fact that this will stay close and that ETHS will find a way to equalize and trade goals back and forth. But that's never really a secure bet to place with Rocket League, because all it takes is that one little slip up. Water drinkers are waiting for that one tiny mistake, and if ETHS doesn't make it, then water drinkers will then step forward and try and force it out of ETHS. So you've got to be on your toes, or on your front wheels rather, for all of the game here, because water drinkers are not going to give you that free space as often as you want it. The opportunities need to be created by your own hands.
Yeah, got to take advantage of every moment that comes to you. Most certainly, ETHS. I mean, they let this lead start to slip away, and all of a sudden, it's a reverse sweep needed in the semifinals. Very difficult to pull off, so they're going to want to make this moment count. Rhino cannot get past odds. JDM immediately takes to the skies. Reset goes far and wide. You can see him trying to get on the right side of the ball to turn it to the left. Just sometimes a little too difficult to execute. Joey, is it the air dribble bump? Is it the air dribble itself? Neither will help him out on that pursuit.
We're starting to get into a territory, though, where ETHS are struggling to have the resources to get a push back out. Rhino does break through the middle of the field and attempts that corner boost steal, but I believe it's JDM who comes out the beneficiary, who will take that all the way over. Good block, however, just got enough of the ball. Odds will take the follow-up, however, and Joey from the back wall. A clutch save to make, as necessary as ever here for ETHS.
God, that was ridiculous. Joey, if you could save that ball, you could save anything. Keep ETHS in this match. There's an option to the middle for Rhino, but instead he's got to defend in odds. Oh boy. Style points again, keeping ETHS with their head on a swivel here. JDM off the backboard has no option, as there's a traded demolition, leaving Rhino and JDM as the only players on the field. Rhino takes it all the way up, and he's eliminated, eviscerated off of the stage, off of odds. The ball almost lands on their own net. This game has turned into complete chaotic fashion. I'm loving it. JDM is not. That shot nowhere near the net.
I don't know if ETHS is necessarily loving this chaos right now. Never mind. Rhino, sure, second goal, equalized things. Everything I could say about their closest opportunity being a challenge between Joey and odds that may just find its way in. Nope. Rhino fields that one perfectly, sends it right in the middle of the net.
Because here's the thing about chaos, right? Like, if Water Drinkers 2.0 had been putting on the best maneuvers, then you allow for these spontaneous moments. Speaking of spontaneity, oh my, JDM had that reset. Maybe tried to turn it mid for odds to score, but Joey, the only one in scoring territory there. Couldn't get it on target, but does knock out JDM, leaving odds alone on this pursuit. Again, no reset. Though posturing for it was odds. There's Rhino now off of the backboard. Doesn't have Joey as an option. Can't get to that ball. Odds still there. Takes a shot. One more touch. Bump into Rhino. The ball's right there in front of the net. JDM doesn't want to take it. It's too close right now. 10 seconds on the clock. We're that close to OT unless someone can make something happen. It's Joey. Pops it to the corner. Still behind the ball. Doesn't want to give any space to Water Drinkers and allows none of it. There we go, Gal. Get extra time.
It's 2 games and 2 overtimes. For as comfortable as Water Drinkers look right now, they certainly are keeping this one about as close as it possibly could be. And it's a tough look there for JDM on the final opportunity, because he thought that they were both going to combine there for ETHS to get a fast clear, Joey and Rhino, but they were just as slow as JDM was, so both of them back off in the standoff towards the middle of the field. Odds, however, is taken to the skies, gets a flip reset, beats one. Joey has time. JDM could get a challenge out of this one, but tries to play it slower and go for a clean pick. Does not connect, however, and just over 30 seconds into extra time, ETHS are getting their first looks on target. But JDM is carrying this one high and away from danger, maybe all the way to the other side, but Rhino denies it.
Got a lot of distance there, but so will the ball on the counter here. Joey, runs out of boost. Nothing left in the tank to follow that one. It's as if there's some kind of competition to see who can get the ball the farthest down the court from their own backboard. Each and every time, everyone getting 3/4 of the way down the court, but not that last length. JDM takes to the middle of the stage instead, where Joey lies and kicks it off of the backboard. Odds hopes to hold on to this and takes out Joey. Musty goes nowhere. Ball left stranded, so Rhino's just gonna give another breath, a sigh of relief there for ETHS. They get a demolition, they get a long clear, but it's right back at it. JDM down the pitch again, can't find a shot on goal. Back and forth we go on these counter attacks, and it only takes one mistake. I think they showed their cards there on the midfield passing play, Galgan, and there was Odds to cut it off.
Absolutely flipped him over before the river came through, and Water Drinkers, well, they drunk that river up clean as ever. And my goodness, I mean, a lot to break down from that one specifically, but when I look from ETHS's perspective, you mentioned, you know, the readability of the pass like that. I look more so towards how they both exited their defensive zones in extra time, because that told me all the story I needed to see. Was that Water Drinkers, their clears, we mentioned the competition to clear it as far from your backboard as possible, but Water Drinkers did that by staying very close to the ball. ETHS did that by launching it. And yes, that makes Water Drinkers back up, have to get boosts, have to get in position and everything. But if you're not in the right spot as ETHS, you're essentially conceding the possession away right there and then JDM or Odds will air dribble it all the way back and extend that possession a good 10-15 seconds longer. That's the difference maker for me in game 2.
Yeah, it's counters that actually have teeth, and then it's counters that just lack intentionality. And you know what, Water Drinkers 2.0, they are making it count. That was Rhino flying right by the ball, and after a suitable 50-50, Odds has the lane to score.
JDM has been doing a good job setting up off those 50s as well, and Odds to push them home. Again, we get to the topic of conversation of things that work for these pairs, their comfort zone, and it's going to be JDM setting up to Odds for the pass shot opportunity. Well, pass shot opportunity this time. JDM sends a perfect one up to Rhino. Very unfortunate on Rhino's behalf, but again, what a shot.
Yeah, and you know what? That's an attempted a diving save, and Rhino, we've already seen it already today, so don't worry, that'll happen. You gotta shrug it off and move on to the next kickoff, which Odds already has the advantage of. Joey, quick recovery though, to stay intact and, you know, keep Water Drinkers thinking, double thinking all the way. They're not out of this match. They're not out of this game. They've taken the long journey to the semifinals approach, and they're still here to fight.
Absolutely. They're well within their own right to be here. They've forced 2 overtimes. They've kept every game close, and we're only just past a minute through. If you thought this one was long gone, clearly weren't watching closely enough, because ETHS have been able to formulate these comebacks, find a way through thick and thin, but JDM has the most minuscule of gaps to shoot at this bottom corner and still manages to slam this ball home before Joey can get enough of a piece.
Oh boy, yeah, that was precise, and I love the different options that were available there as well for JDM. You can slow play it for a 50-50, which, you know, based on what we've seen from these players, is more often what he's going to approach, but instead saw that very, very thin lane to take the shot. So going for the more convincing of plays there is JDM for that third goal and a fourth, maybe on deck, as Odds still has a flip, baits in both defenders to try and cut him off early, but there's no doing that against Odds.
There you go. There's the clip potential right there. It could have been a little bit cleaner. You know, I'll give that one a 6.5 if I'm on the Ford freestyling event desk right now. But obviously, that's not why we're here. It is a good sign, though, to see from Odds, because, again, it all boils down to that confidence, right? Players don't attempt that unless they're feeling really solid in their stature and in their movement. Another opportunity there for Joey, but just can't find the right challenge, and Rhino is already forced to back up because of 0 boost in the tank. Odds puts Rhino on skates and then puts Joey to the grave, and JDM finishes the goal.
I'm hurting after that. Oh God, it just gets worse and worse the more you watch it. The fake, the demo, The easy pass. Water Drinkers 2.0. Oh, are they hydrated right now? You know what, Galgan, you take over, man. I'm going to take a drink of water just in celebration of that.
I mean, I am just as parched as you, but the only thing that could solve that are more Water Drinkers goals. If they keep convincing us that this series is over in sweet fashion, which it did not feel like we were headed that way after the end of game number 2. But if this is the convincing fashion victory they want on their way to the grand final, then so be it. Because honestly, it's looking like very little can be done to stop them if they continue this run of form. Rhino forced to lob that one on target, handled by JDM, who will now walk this one right underneath Joey, has one beat, flicks over the top of Rhino, odds is there, JDM credited with the goal somehow, unless I missed something major, but it's a 6th for the Water Drinkers.
It is, and look at the clock to the halfway mark here. Oh yeah, wait, why was that not odds?
That's exactly what I'm thinking too. I'm looking at that, I'm like, huh, is there some random, like, minuscule pixel off of the front wheel of JDM's car that clipped that ball?
I think Rocket League is trialing Unreal Engine 5 here. The physics seem to be a little bit unique here. But you know what? We'll take it for what it's worth. A goal's a goal, right, Galgan? No matter how they obtain it. So 6 goals in the first half. They're on pace for double digits here. Putting on a clinic right now are the Water Drinkers 2.0. It's going to take a monumental effort for ETHS to find a win or even be in the conversation right here for game 3. But it won't stop them from trying as Joey lifts up to the skies. Odds still getting past him. The back pass there will sort out towards JDM, and he'll play into the touch of Rhino. To the backboard now. Keeps away the fired shot from Rhino, and here comes Odds. JDM already playing the blocker role, but Odds loses the ball. What happened there? Rhino next up to the plate, can't find anything, but ETHS, at least they're stopping the plays. Yes, great stop from ETHS.
Always those moments where you gotta hold your breath, you know, don't know whether or not the post is gonna be benevolent to the defenders, and that time it is. It delays the purchase of those one-way tickets to Brazil. We may end up there eventually, as we've still got a minute to play. Obviously, to make that reference more clarified for everybody, 7-1, the result we're looking for Brazil, to see the Water Drinkers can carry us there. But ETHS, you know, there are glimpses for them to push back through. There may not be enough time on the clock to solve this particular semifinal, as JDM will get the open ball, and there we have it. Our trip is booked. JDM sends us there. 39 seconds to go this game, and this series done and dusted.
Very well done. Very well done here from the Water Drinkers 2.0. You know, you may think you're seeing the last of Rhino and company from ETHS, but there is still that third place matchup from what I can hear, Galgan. So, you know, Joey and Rhino, this could just be a trial to ensure that top 3 spot here in the USMC Rocket League Challenger Series.
Absolutely. We'll have to wait and see. We won't have to wait very long to see ETHS again, but for the Water Drinkers, they'll get some time to cool down, refresh themselves, stay hydrated as always, as they prepare for the grand final here of the USMC Rocket League Challenger Series 2v2 event. The time is ticking off the clock. The result is already written in the papers, and it is Water Drinkers 2.0. Again, another series where, much like the first one of the night, the result of the final game to close it out is very much not in line with what we had in the rest of the series, but I don't think Water Drinkers is going to be too upset with how Game 3 turned out.
No, I don't think so whatsoever. They wanted to strut their stuff here in this 2v2 competition, and we've talked about it all day. In 2v2, you've got the range, the space, the resources to make those beautiful moments happen in Rocket League. And, hey, I'm happy to be a caster, but I'm even happier just to be a spectator of it. So, Well played indeed from the Water Drinkers 2.0 in this wonderful, wonderful series of action. Guys, don't forget with this USMC Victory Command competition, you can always check out more information to get yourself involved in some of these competitions. Rocket League, free game to play. This tournament, free entry with awards provided by Generation Esports in the form of an exclusive event coin for all participants and a custom championship ring for the winners. Potentially could be those water drinkers. So make sure you check out marines.com. What is it? /USMC, Galgan?
Marines.com/Rocket League Challenger is
Rocket
that link.
League Challenger. I was so close. For more information on those competitions, you have Rocket League here, but you also got Valorant, Brawlhalla, all kinds of good competition.